Alrighty, gonna jump back on the square body here today. Not too sure how long the rain's gonna hold out, but I don't really have a whole lot I can do. I was able to get all the brake parts ordered this week, so hopefully we'll have those the next week or so, if I can afford them. And gonna continue today on playing with the wiring harness. I'm going to see if I can get this fuse box mounted up on the side here and then start kind of figuring out how some of the wiring can run from there. So yeah, just going to see how much we can get done before it starts raining. So I've got this here worked out of cardboard to mount it. It's going to be a nice little L bracket. Going to go down, just mount onto the bottom of the floor here. So be nice and simple, not trying to make it all clean and nice looking, just trying to mount it and make it functional. So yeah, gonna go transfer this onto some metal and see what I can do. Well, after a lot of fine-tuning, here is the bracket I came up with for the fuse box. So, gonna fit fairly nicely. Still got some tweaking it'll need to have done to it, but yeah, sadly, it just started raining, so hopefully it lets up and I can get back to it in a little bit. Get this thing all bolted in and make sure it works and throw some paint on it. Alright, been messing around with the square body a bit this morning here. Got the holes drilled for the bracket I made to hold the fuse panel, and I'll say, I'm pretty happy with it. It's all just loosely in there. I gotta take it out again and paint it, but I think that's gonna sit pretty nicely. It's up in there out of the way. It's not in my way over on the side over here, so it's a nice central location. All these wires right here can come up and string through the dash however they need to, and then I already have my rear section strung to here, and I got the front section strung out already too, so just a matter of getting those odds and ends placed. I did order my headlights for this week, so hopefully I'll see those in the next week or so, and I'll have the brakes soon. So yeah, we're going to be making some good progress here on this, I think. Alright, welcome back. Doing more wiring on the square body Cummings here. Wiring kind of seems to be my thing this year. I'm doing a lot of it. So, jumping into it here. I've got everything sorted out where it needs to go, how I'm going to route it. This is the whole front harness with lights and all that. It's all going to get routed down along the front of here. And then I got the rear harness and the engine harness side of things. The engine really doesn't need much other than sensors, so that'll be easy. But inside, the last thing I had filmed was getting the fuse box all mounted, and I got that mounted and the bracket painted, so that's all in there good to go. I actually found out that this relay almost clips in here, so I'm probably just going to mount that there. Plenty of room for my foot on the plenty of room away from my foot for on the pedal there, so yeah, that's going to be how that is, I think. So I'm getting all this wiring situated. It's going to run up and over the gas pedal and then down and under the column, but I don't really have any good tabs to mount it, and the steering column needs to come out because I got myself a tilt column on a lucky scrapyard run. So, gonna get that in there. get this one out, and while this one's out, I can drill a couple holes to mount my wiring. So hopefully that'll make my life a little bit easier. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing the column right now. That was going to be a later on project. But if it'll make my life easier to drill some holes, I'll change it out right now. Later than it should have taken, but it happens. Couldn't get my intermediate shaft to go back on the other end of here. I discovered that when I put it on that one initially, I tightened it too much and pinched it, so I had to tap it off. Didn't think anything of it. Went to put it back on this new one, and was not having it. But turn on my light here and check out this new one. Sadly, the horn button's still cracked on it, but steering wheel's got this cool little inlay to it. So a little fancier touch to the old truck, but got that in there. Got my couple of holes drilled in there. I'm not going to be able to get the right light for it, but got some holes drilled in there so that I can hold up the wiring harness and start getting that finalized over the next few days, hopefully. Hopefully my lights will be here the end of this week, early next, and start getting them wired up and start figuring out what all we're gonna have to do, and then hopefully get the brakes. Once the brakes are done, I can get the flatbed on here, because then I can drive this truck under the flatbed. So that'll make my life a lot easier. But she's coming along slowly but surely.